So, what can Last of Us fans expect in the future from you?
Thank you for asking, Jeff.
Yes.
So one of the things we've mentioned a while back is what started out as a multiplayer mode has evolved due to the team's ambition. They really wanted to do something beyond what we've ever done before at Naughty Dog. And we felt the way to do it justice is to make it a standalone title. And they've been working on it for the past 2 years. Ambition has grown, and we're not quite ready to fully unveil it, but we're ready to lift the curtain a little bit and just give you like an update of where we're at.
Okay, well, what can you tell us about this new standalone multiplayer game?
Yeah, so we have a concept art that we want to show.
Okay.
But what I can tell you
Whoa!
is that this game is big.
Okay.
It's as big as any of our single-player games that we've done, and in some ways bigger. It's got a story. The way we're telling that story is very unique to this game. It's got a brand new cast of characters. It takes place at another place, another part of the United States.
It's like a city might be somewhat familiar, some people.
I'm sure our fans have already figured it out. And it's really cool. And it's being headed by Vinith Agarwal, Anthony Newman, and Joe Pantnati, all veterans of Uncharted and Last of Us. And you're going to see a lot more of this game come next year.
Next year, so I wait till next year to hear more about that
year.
one. Okay, well, very exciting that this has evolved, and I mean, that concept art looks incredible. I can't wait to see Naughty Dog's storytelling fused with multiplayer live game.
It's something special. We can't wait to show it either.
Okay.
Is it everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, you can't deny that view.
On June 9th, 2022, the vice president of Naughty Dog, writer and director of The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann, posted to Twitter saying a small glimpse into big things. Naughty Dog's biggest online experience is coming. More news next year. I and plenty of others were understandably excited for the future of The Last of Us. Naughty Dog, although starting with games like Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter, now focus more on single-player, linear, narrative-driven stories. Although flexing their skills with the wide-open areas featured in Uncharted: The Lost Legacy and The Last of Us Part 2, seemingly blurring the line between open-world and linear games. But this doesn't take away from their incredible ability to make multiplayer games. Uncharted 4's multiplayer is one of my favorite examples of a studio whose main focus is single-player, but excels at multiplayer. Being able to not just shoot, but roll, jump, climb, grapple, slide, and in some cases zipline, made this better than most online PvEs at the time. It didn't lack in game modes and eventually added a survival mode where you fight off waves of enemies with a partner. But the best thing about Uncharted 4 Online is instead of making your own characters, you play and customize characters from the series, which means we get to see characters like Marlowe, Flynn, and Tenzin in greater fidelity thanks to the better hardware. Also, I can make Lazarevich do this. But switching gears to Factions MP available for The Last of Us, not Part 1 for the PS5 for some reason, but Factions 1, as I'll be referring to it for the rest of this video, took itself very seriously. Factions was basically The Last of Us, but online. You get to customize your own survivor and do 4v4 matches where your team shares 20 lives. This mode still has an immense amount of support from players, as it's literally no trouble to join a match even in 2024. So the prospect of a Factions 2 with the same graphical fidelity and mechanics as Part 2 was very exciting. Just from this teaser image, it's obvious we would have gotten to make our own survivor again. And we're in a new location, which Reddit Detectives has already found to be San Francisco, or California at the very least. I say things like would've because if you couldn't tell by the title or this is the way you're finding out, Factions 2 was confirmed to be cancelled on December of last year by Naughty Dog after releasing a statement. We realize many of you have been anticipating news around the project that we've been calling The Last of Us Online. There's no easy way to say this. We've made the incredibly difficult decision to stop development on that game. We know this news will be tough for many, especially our dedicated The Last of Us Factions community, who have been following our multiplayer ambitions ardently. We're equally crushed at the studio as we were looking forward to putting it in your hands. We wanted to share with you some background of how we came to this decision. The multiplayer team had been in pre-production with this game since we were working on The Last of Us Part 2, crafting an experience we felt was unique and had tremendous potential. As the multiplayer team iterated on their concept for The Last of Us Online during this time, their vision crystallized. The gameplay got more refined and satisfying, and we were enthusiastic about the direction in which we were headed. In ramping up to full production, the massive scope of our ambition became clear. To release and support The Last of Us Online, we have to put all our studio resources behind supporting post-launch content for years to come, severely impacting development on future single-player games. So we had two paths in front of us: become a solely live service game studio, or continue to focus on single-player narrative games that have defined Naughty Dog's heritage. We are immensely proud of everyone at the studio that touched this project. The learnings and investment in technology from this game will carry into how we develop our projects and will be invaluable in the direction we are headed as a studio. We have more than one ambitious, brand new single-player game that we're working on here at Naughty Dog, and we cannot wait to share more about what's to come when they're ready. Until then, we're incredibly thankful to our community for your support throughout the years. You know, they say hindsight is always 50-50, and looking back at the clues and lack of any significant updates in a whole year, I could say I knew pretty early on that Factions 2 sounded more and more like a dream than a reality. The official news of its cancellation still hit me. I always held out some sort of hope, but after hearing their explanation, I can respect the decision to only stay focused on single-player games and just hope that changes slightly in the future. But with the influx of live service games nowadays, I think I'd be way more upset if I was playing The Last of Us and it felt like I was playing Fortnite, Overwatch 2, or even Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Battle passes and seasonal updates may work for a lot of other games, and I don't doubt that the guys at Naughty Dog would have made it work for Factions 2, but whether it would have worked or not, it wasn't the vision for that experience. The Last of Us Part 2 is already so divisive. The last thing the community needs is another reason to hate the game should it turn out to not be fun. But what about the opposite side of that? Neil has said on record that the online had a story, which means the online would have added additional lore, locations, and characters in the Last of Us universe, completely canon to the main story, similar to games like GTA Online and BioShock 2. Sadly, I couldn't find any concrete news on what this game could have even been. We'll have to wait for like a book to come out or something, because I don't even have enough pieces to put a puzzle together. Just the infamous image that was teased. And even then, this is just concept art. I can only hope an interview or article releases sometime in the future about what might have been, so we'll talk about it. I can also hope that the assets or ideas that would have been used in this experience make their way to The Last of Us Part 3, which for those who are unaware has kind of been confirmed in The Last of Us 2 documentary. And I can also hope that to compensate for this loss, just give us Factions for The Last of Us Part 1. I don't make games, but it can't be that hard to just copy and paste those assets to more quality hardware. Give it a little 60 frames a second polish, and boom, fans are happy. At least I'd be. What do you guys think? The death of The Last of Us Online is a rather tragic one, but I, for one, look forward to what Naughty Dog has in store for us in the future. I know I'm a little late to the party, but this is an idea I've been talking about for a while, and I really want to talk about how much I enjoyed Factions as a multiplayer game, and how Naughty Dog actually shows out when it comes to making multiplayer experiences. So, like I said earlier in the video, I hope that changes slightly over time and they're able to make it work. Actually making a team for their online stuff to not have to, I guess, put so many resources towards it as to put actual main big projects on the back burner. But we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think. Am I too late to the party? Should this video even be made? It's been sitting here for a while, so why not just put it out? If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, leave a comment, I always respond, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.